Have you ever had a mentor that shoots so straight with you that in that instant, everything changes? Hello, and I'm Karen Brook. My mentor, Bob Proctor, has shot so straight with me at different times in my life that it has changed everything for me. And I want to share with you some of these little moments, these snapshots in time that made such a big impact on me at the time. And they were such simple lessons, but had such a impact on me that it really changed everything for me at that moment. The first one, I remember it so clearly. I was working with Bob over in Toronto, Canada. It was February 2016, and I was sitting at a table, and dare I say it, it's even embarrassing to recount the story, but I was writing with a really cheap pen. A really cheap pen. I don't know what it was, maybe a $2 Bic pen. Never do that around Bob Proctor. And I was in a room probably with about 80 or 90 people, and he just stopped mid-sentence. And I was sitting right at the front of the room, 3 or 4 people around me, and he looked at me and he's like, "What is that?" And I was like, I don't know. He goes, "What are you writing with?" And I was like, I don't know, just a pen. And he pulled out his beautiful pen and he threw it across the room at me and he said, "Never write with a crappy pen." And I was so like, well, one, I was pretty excited that I just got Bob Proctor's pen, but I was so taken aback. And he said, you know, when you sit down with a prospect, when you sit down with someone, if you're writing with a very ordinary pen, what sort of message do you think that sends to their subconscious mind about your self-worth, about your self-image? So they're not going to consciously be aware, but subconsciously, they're picking up on something about you. He said, it's little things like this that can make a huge difference. And I was talking to him after that event. This is not the pen that he gave me. This is a beautiful Mont Blanc pen. Lovely fountain. If you don't own a Mont Blanc fountain tip, you want to get one. It's beautiful to write with. Or a Cross pen. Cross is the other brand that I absolutely love, and you can thank Bob Proctor for that. I probably have half a dozen of them now. Thanks to Bob Proctor, they write so beautifully. And honestly, your thoughts are your most valuable asset. Your thoughts are taking you where you want to go. And so you want to honor and respect those by writing with a beautiful pen every day. But I was sitting down with Bob later on that day and I said, what you just did in the room in front of all those people, I said, I'm so grateful, thank you for that. I just hadn't thought about it. And he really impressed upon me how important it was that this says something. If you're in sales, if you are doing business, if you're sitting down and talking to someone, make sure you got a good pen on you, because that says something to their subconscious mind around your own self-worth, around your own self-image. So that was a beautiful lesson. It was such a simple lesson to learn, and since that day, I never write with crappy pens. I've always got a good pen somewhere in my bag, and an even better pen now. I think I've become addicted to fountain pens. Another massive turning point, this was a little bit before the pen incident. It was June 2015, and I had a few months before that became a consultant with the Proctor Institute. So I was right at the beginning of my training, and I remember going to one of my first consultant trainings, and Bob Proctor didn't really know who I was at that point in time, and he said, "What do you really want, Karen?" And again, as Bob Proctor does, he stands over you and he's speaking so heart to heart to you. And I said, I want to help people all over the world change their life. And he said, well, change your own life first. And again, it was one of those moments of like, right, I've got to be a product of this product, thinking into results. I need to take and study it like a scientist and use it in my own life and create positive change in my own life, so that not only am I setting an example to everyone that I come in contact with, that if I can do it, you can do it. And I'm not telling you that to impress you, but just to impress upon you that if I can do it, you can do it. But I've got to know how to live it and teach it and really be a product of this program. And at that moment in time, I decided that was exactly what I was going to do. I've used this material to literally transform every area of my life, from my business revenue, my income, my health. I've met and married my now husband. I used it to help me fall pregnant and enjoy a beautiful pregnancy and move into motherhood in a very calm, relaxed way. I used it to set a goal of running an ultra marathon, 150 kilometers across the Australian desert, and I won that event from like 0 to 150K in 6 months. I used it to travel the world, like you name it. I can show you how to really use this material in your own life. So that moment of Bob actually saying will change. If you want to help a lot of people and help a lot of people make a big difference in their own lives, go and make a big difference in your own life first. And if you're a leader, if you are a leader in your family, which you probably are, mum or dad, if you're a leader in your company, in your community, in your soccer team, you can't give to anybody else what you don't already have yourself. So change your own life first. Invest in you. And that investment in you will pay off dividends for the rest of your life. There was another situation where Bob called me out and I had a bad attitude. Now, at one point in time, you're going to hear me teach a lot on attitude, and we don't have time for that today, but he basically called me out on having a negative mental attitude. Now, he said, Karen, I'm not saying that you're a bad person or there's anything wrong with you, but I'm saying at the moment you're not operating from the right part of your personality. And he really called me out on it, and he said, you're letting circumstances, you're letting what's going on outside you influence you. You're letting it influence your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. And that is actually what attitude is. Attitude is the composite of those 3 parts of your personality. And he was right. He was 100% right. And this was in a text message. And he wrote this message to me. And he said, from now on, the moment that you cross this line, and he wrote this little line in the text message, he said, you only look at life from this perspective. From this line in time, you are literally drawing a line, and as your finger skimmed past it, as your eye read past that line, you no longer look at your life and your results from that point of view. That is a negative mental attitude. You can only and must adopt the positive mental attitude of being where you want to be and aligning your thoughts, feelings, and actions to that end. And that was we all need that wake-up call sometimes. I bet right now you've got a real bad attitude for a particular area in your life. Now, I don't know what area in your life that could be, whether it's around money or business or relationships. Doesn't mean that you're a bad or negative person, but it means that you're not operating from the right side of your personality. Anytime you entertain thoughts of lack or limitation, you're operating with a negative mental attitude. You've got to have a positive mental attitude. And I'll teach you how to do this, how to really bring the 3 parts of your personality into alignment so that you can always create what it is that you want. And the last lesson, well, it's actually sort of 2 moments, but I distinctly remember these 2 moments. It was sort of 2 phrases or statements that he made that really impacted me at the point in time. The first one was when I really learned, he taught me that responsibility is the key to freedom. That if you're waiting for somebody else to change or circumstances to change in your life, you're handing over all of your power to that other person. In actual fact, taking full responsibility for where you're at and the kind of results that you're creating is your ticket to freedom. Because if you work on you, then you can improve your circumstances and your situation. So take responsibility for your results. Take responsibility for where you're at. The good, the bad, the ugly, the positive, just accept it all without judgment and understand that as you do that, you're giving yourself the freedom to change and create what you want. And the last little line that I remember him telling me was personal contact is the key to success. Start a conversation that matters. Start a conversation with your family, with your friends, with your clients, with your prospects. Get out there and talk to people. In fact, if you're in sales, if you're in business, personal contact is the key to success. So think about how you can do more of that. How you can leave every single person with the impression of increase. Leave them better than you found them today. And just watch the good and the great and the abundance that flows straight back to you. I want to invite you today to really take a serious look at Bob Proctor and my coaching program, Thinking into Results. It is such a life-changing 6-month program. Click the link below and go through and take a look yourself. Don't just skim read over the page, like really study it. Study what I'm telling you on that page and make a decision today that you're going to get more information about this and you're going to sit down and really learn how you can use this in your life as a foundation for success for the rest of your life. One of the things about Thinking into Results is that it's not a program that you just come and do and you tick it off the list and you put it back on the shelf and it becomes shelf help for the rest of your life. How many programs have you done that have become shelf help? This is not one of them. This is something that you're gonna study and you're gonna practice and you're gonna use it for the rest of your life to continue to improve the quality of your life. And like I said earlier, once you understand it for you, you're going to be far more effective at helping everybody else around you improve the quality of their life too. I'm going to leave you with this. What I want for myself, I want for you. And I can honestly say that Thinking into Results has changed the course of my life, and it can change the course of your life too. For more life-changing content, click subscribe. Here's to the better version of you.